Rachel, stop it! Please stop it! No, stop!
No, fucking hell.
Never forget where we came.
Yeah, I'm conversing for it.
We are bastard.
Oh, God! Fucking hell, man. I don't want to make a joke about it.
I'm gonna punch him.
Oh my God!
Oh, shit.
He's gonna...
Fucking dog.
Dean! Oh, don't make me now! Oh,
So when we're young, we're shown this image. There's a lot of molten lava in the middle of the earth, but no one's ever drilled more than 8 miles down. Humans don't have the technology to do that. So you're looking at something you're never going to see, and that's the power of image. It just goes right into the subconscious. This is quite interesting as well. So the Earth rotates 360 degrees every 24 hours. That's something everyone agrees with in the mainstream model, and that we go around the sun. But if that was the case, 6 months later we'd be the other side of the sun and still rotating 360 degrees in 24 hours. Therefore, midday should be dark and midnight should be bright light. This again might need a little bit of thought and contemplation, but it can't really be argued with. Let's have a little look into NASA. Now, they get 8 billion tax a year or so, and they're a government agency linked a lot to Freemasonry and Project Paperclip after World War II. I won't talk about the red serpent tongue there because I'm trying to stay away from too much conspiracy until later on in this. Now NASA obviously you know the moon landings were a hoax. If you don't, then just click X and go and do something else with your day. I mean, you can see the moon's edge from 20 meters away. No stars. This is a Stanley Kubrick movie, if you do your research. There we go. It's probably something more like that. This is the image NASA give us. This is the image you see all over the place, encyclopedias, school walls, Google Images. And this image is from the 70s, from the Apollo missions. Now there's no stars, no equatorial bulge, and there's no evidence of spin. It's quite a high technology camera that no one else has got to capture that shutter speed. There is one bit of spinning footage from NASA, a 12-hour time lapse, but it doesn't show the clouds moving, which is very odd because clouds don't stay still for 12 hours. So we haven't got any footage of the Earth spinning, even though there's the Hubble telescope, we're told, a space station and 20 to 30,000 satellites. Very strange. And no one can feel the spin. Well, we can feel earthquakes pretty well, but we can't feel the Earth spinning. Very, very odd. Here's a picture of the galaxy. Yeah, everyone believes that. And we live around the edge on the outer arm. You know. And not just a planet amongst another 100 million other planets like us, and billions of other galaxies like us. Middle of nowhere, random from a big bang. That's what we're told with these images. Here we are again. Obviously no camera's ever been out that far. There we go, there's a nebula quasar thing going on. Everyone believes that. This is quite interesting that we can see planes around here, around this area, this amount of altitude. They look quite small in the sky. But people believe they can see satellites the size of a car higher than the top of this picture, higher than 140 kilometers, because many satellites are said to be 200-300 miles up. So I don't know what sort of Superman eyes people have got. They've got some transhumanist eye implants. Also, things that they say things go into space. I personally don't believe anything's been in space, and I don't even believe space exists. But there's a high temperature, 70-80 degrees around here, around 87 miles up, and no one's really explained how things are getting out of that heat. Here's the shuttle. Again, some crazy curvature. It's warped the picture so much that this lid's got a little bit warped. This is a funny one. This is the shuttle docking with the space station. Both going 64,000 miles an hour around the sun and 3,000 miles around the Earth. When I spoke to a scientist, he said this was due to clever thrusters. I said, surely a vacuum, the vacuum of space, would suck out all the fuel where there's an opening, where the thrusters are. And he got a bit upset, because yeah, it was his life definition to be a scientist. We can also talk about spacewalks, can't we, where why would they put all the cables on the outside? Why would all these things need fixing? And how if you study spacewalks, you're really looking at underwater footage. You see a lot of bubbles in the helmets of a lot of spacewalks, and NASA actually use a training swimming pool. These are the satellites, 20-30,000. None of them hit each other, none of them hit the space station, and none of them take any photos of the Earth. Unless you believe the weather after the news. Okay, here's the satellite, yeah, with its ray gun. That's real. If you go on Google Images, look at satellites, you're just going to find loads of Photoshop. I mean, who took that photo? So there was another satellite behind this one. Yeah, there we go. And if you look at GPS, this is a US military system. TV and other things we think we use satellites for is easily done with radio antenna. It's all done on the ground, unless you believe images like that. There's another one, bit of Photoshop. Nice thin aerials on that satellite. And that one's not CGI. That's a painting, isn't it? That's a painting. We come to the Hubble, wrapped in tin foil. It's been up there, what, 10 years? It takes photos of quasars, nebulas, dwarf stars imploding, but never turns around and takes a picture of the Earth. No pictures of the moon. Kind of strange. Because it doesn't exist. It's a big lie. I've done an article about Mars. I've gone into that, and I've also gone into a mission they're doing to Pluto. It's complete nonsense. Here you can see some duct tape to make sure it works properly. There's another crazy image. It looks more like a desert near California. Look at these images. What is going on there? Look at the tires on this image. Yep, that looks real. In the background you can clearly see some of Earth with a bit of an orange hue in Photoshop. And they say they're going to colonize Mars soon. More CGI Photoshop. This is interesting. There's a great movie online called, I think it's called Mars Curiosity Rover and the $1 Billion Video. And it shows this press conference, especially this guy, Adam Shelter or something. I mean, you've got to watch this video. This guy's an actor. They're all actors, but this guy, this is something else.
Seriously, is that not cool or what? Woo! So that rocked. Seriously, is that not cool or what? Woo! Is that Mount Sharp, or what can I see there, and all kinds of stuff. And so he's got the keys pretty soon. Not quite yet, but pretty soon he'll have the keys. Say something profound.
I am terribly humbled by this experience. I forever, secretly, have felt that I do not deserve to be in the position of leading the team that I lead, because they are certainly in sum and largely by count of individual more capable than I. Soup to nuts, soup to nuts. And I think that this nation is a truly great representation of a corner or a piece of humanity that reaches out and explores and conquers and engineers. We are kind of tool makers, agriculturalists, pioneers, and that's reflected in the activities and actions and results of tonight. So I want to say thank you to the blue shirts. Certainly this beautiful theater of tonight, the drama of us all being able to experience it together, unrivaled in the experience for all of us. And with that, really, I have nothing more to say. That picture says it all for me.
Adam, tell us about the landing.
All right, Greg. I can't tell you too much about it. I mean, it looks good. I'm being a little flip. In short, it looked extremely clean. We touched down in conditions that were on the more benign side of our nominal expectations.